Hey everyone, it's Teacher Renee again. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I did want to update you a little bit about how things are going with my scheduling working for 3 different companies. I've changed up my process just a little bit, and I think that it's resulted in me getting more bookings and using my time better. So, let me give you a quick introduction, then I'll show you what I'm doing. As for the 3 companies, I've actually really mainly been going down to 2. I have still never been able to successfully book with VIP Kid. Sorry, those are my dogs. Even though I have tried and opened slots, and they also pay the least. So since they have one time slot that my other 2 companies do not have, but since it almost never books and it pays so much less, I was tired of trying to remember to check it. I didn't want to miss a class, so I've just decided to stop opening slots with them. So if they do work for you, though, feel free to use some of these suggestions and make it work for your company. So the real secret sauce of kind of what works for me is using GoGo Kid and Magic Ears. And the reason that it works is because both GoGo Kid and Magic Ears, their bookings just take place a little bit differently. So, for instance, Magic Ears allows you to open classes whenever, but they book you themselves. And bookings don't really happen consistently until 24 hours before. And then after that 24-hour before period, they open standbys that junior teachers can take, and you get a $2 bonus for opening standbys. Now, GoGo Kid, on the other hand, the parent books the classes, both the trials and the core. I later found out. I thought that they robo-book trials. Most of the time on GoGo Kid, those classes are booked out in advance. They can be booked within 24 hours, but the majority of them are booked in what is called the frenzy. The frenzy occurs at 12 noon on Monday, Beijing time. So for me, right now, it's almost daylight savings time. So in daylight savings time, that'll be midnight on Sunday. Right now, it's 11 p.m. on Sunday night. So what I've been doing now is opening every possible slot that I can, except for my very first morning slot, which I prefer to do standby anyway, just so I don't have to be up quite as early and have a few minutes to wake up if I'm not needed. That's just a personal preference. I've been opening every single slot for the Frenzy with GoGo Kid. So let me show you how that works, and I'll show you what I'm doing with Magic Ears. So let me just move a couple things around here and show you what's been going on. So here's a typical view of what I opened for the frenzy. This is going to be when the daylight savings time changes. So as you can see, I'm opening from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. now. Eastern Standard Time. Really excited about those extra hours. And I have courses, college classes during Tuesday, Thursday mornings, so I unfortunately can't open all of my slots. So what I'm going to do is open every single slot possible with GoGo Kid before that Sunday night, and it's for the next week. So as you can see, this is the 11th. So this one will be available for Frenzy this coming Sunday night. So a lot of times what that'll end up looking like when it's done, let me show you real quick, is, sorry. Let me show you this week. Now keep in mind the bookings are a little low because we just came off of Chinese New Year, so this isn't always a typical week. But let me just kind of show you, or actually what this coming week is going to look like. Sorry, wrong week. This is this week. So we're already through Wednesday, and I've only got a few. But then the next week, March 3rd, there we are. So what I've left open is these evening hours that Magic Ears does not have. And I've also left open the 10:30 p.m. time slot because Magic Ears doesn't have that. Other than that, I've closed out everything that did not book, and I gave it all to Magic Ears. Okay? So again, what I'll do is I will open up everything possible for the frenzy, and that's normally going to occur on the Sunday night prior. So think about that happening on the 10th right here, the day before. I will normally wait through about Tuesday or Wednesday to begin closing slots to allow a couple days of that frenzy to trickle in. Then what I will do is I will come over to my Magic Ears. So this is the same week as, sorry, trying to make everything clear for you. This week, but it's on my Magic Year schedule. So I went ahead and opened all the things that didn't book with the Frenzy. Now you see a lot of open slots, you don't see a lot booked, and that's because Magic Years has their bookings within 24 hours they lock in. And if I don't get booked, I will normally open a standby anyway. So this is what I've done is I decided just to open all the slots that didn't book. I do have trials and cores mixed in that GoGo Kid. Went ahead and closed out the possibility. That's about a week in advance for GoGo Kid. And I've come over and opened everything I can with Magic Years because bookings and standbys have been very good. And just to show you kind of what that tends to look like, let me show you like what I would have done today. So if you look at today's calendar, it's going to be this column right here on Thursday, 28th of February. This is tomorrow. So tomorrow I normally would have tried to get a 5:30 standby, but I decided to get a nap, sleep in a little bit instead and did not try to open one this morning. But I did click the standby for 6 a.m. with Magic Years. So that's what it looks like when I've booked my standby. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be doing a standby with Magic Years. So I've got that booked. See, all of these standbys are open, but I'm not able to take them because as you'll see tomorrow, I have Thursday, a 6th, wrong calendar. I was about to be very confused. Here we go. Tomorrow I have a 6:30 and a 7 booked with GoGo Kid, and those are the only 2 slots I can do on Thursdays before I have to leave. So I left these standbys open. Whatever, and then tomorrow morning I will try to get the 5:30 standby, and since I've booked my 6 and 6:30, I'll confirm that they're booked by checking right after the 24-hour mark to make sure I still have a class, and if not, I'll go ahead and if they disappear, I'll book a standby, and if not, and then I'll also check the 7 a.m. I'll know right after 24 hours, normally if it's booked, and then at about 7:05, I will come over here and try to book that standby. The 7:30 is a GoGo Kid class, and then we've got the 8 a.m. that I'll also try to book with Magic Years. So, let me get back here. So the reason I've chosen to do it that way is because I did notice that I was booking so little with GoGo Kid at the last minute, and then I was having to remember to grab all of those standbys. And while I do love standbys, they're some of my favorite things, if I forget to grab one, then I don't get to teach that slot. And in order to grab a standby, you have to pretty aggressively be there to click that button. Unless you see that there's extra, they are in a big need right now, so we have extras available. But especially if I'm wanting to get them like later in the morning at 8 a.m. or early at 5:30, I've got to be there at about 5 minutes after 24-hour mark, so 5:35 or 8:05, and hope that I can get one of those standbys to book. So what I had been doing was originally I just opened with GoGo Kid and did everything standby with Magic Years. And after a while I felt like I was not getting enough with GoGo Kid and I wanted to do more regular bookings with Magic Years too. So I started opening 50% of my slots. So I would do the Frenzy and then I'd take what didn't book, divide it in half, and open that with Magic Years and leave the rest open for GoGo Kid. But what I noticed is that those 50% I was leaving open for GoGo Kid weren't booking. So this is the newest thing I'm doing. I'm just letting the Frenzy plus a few days be my GoGo Kid, and then I'm opening with Magic Years. With GoGo Kid, with my 120 credit score, I'm making $22.50 an hour, so it's just slightly more than my $22 an hour of base with Magic Years. But here's the other great thing about Magic Years right now. I'm also keeping track of the number of slots that I open. Because with Magic Years, everyone gets a base of, I always do it doubled, so I'm trying to think, $9 a class. And then you get an additional dollar if you start your day being in class 10 minutes early, or if you start your day with the standby class, it counts as the same thing because you don't have to be in there as early. So you get that participation bonus, which is another dollar. So that brings it up to $10 an hour. Then if you open more than 60 time slots, not teach, but open 60 time slots during the peak time hours, which I have written down. Let me get those for you. The peak time with, sorry about that. I love my dogs, and it's a beautiful day, and they like to bark at other dogs. The peak hours are, where is that sticky note on my computer? Let me find it for you. Here it is. The peak time slots in Eastern Standard Time are 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. and 8 to 9 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. So those are currently Eastern Standard Time before Daylight Savings Time hours. Those are the peak time slots. So anything that I can open In those peak time slots, I'm going to try to open, and I'll normally easily get to 60, and then I'm making $11 per class or $22 an hour. And if I do the standby, I can actually get an additional $1 for that class sometimes. I've seen it go both ways. I think policy says you're not supposed to get an additional dollar for standby, but there are times on my pay stub where I have actually gotten an additional dollar for standby for the peak time. Because you get a $2 standby bonus just for doing standby, so automatically you're at $11 for a class with standby, even if you don't open the full slots. But I have on occasion been able, or have seen myself get another dollar for opening those peak time slots and doing standby. So why not just do all standby if I get the guaranteed bonus? Well, here's the thing. Most of the standbys book, but not all of them. I would say about 75%. If they don't book, I only make $5. Also, I'm tired of not being able to nab all of my standbys I want and not getting to teach a course. So normally there's still going to be holes in my schedule that Magic Years doesn't book. I'm not a master teacher yet, so I will get plenty of standby in my life. But I also will have regular booked classes that will try to make up for the things I'm not teaching with GoGo Kid. And then, like I said, the standbys. Doing this method, I am hoping and pretty sure that if I'm vigilant in trying to book my standbys, I should most likely be able to teach every single slot that I want to. And if in the month of March I'm able to teach every single slot I want to for $22 an hour, I will be looking at a potential income of about $2,300 for that month. So, yes, you can make money, and yes, it is possible. But I've found that working with multiple companies, it just really helps you to get those bookings, and it helps you to get some variety in what you're doing. I like going from the one-on-one with GoGo Kid to the multiple with Magic Years. And in Magic Years, honestly, they've been changing things, and it's just been getting better and better. So I really do like them both, and I look forward to teaching them both. So that's what I'm currently doing with my scheduling. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any additional questions, you can comment or email me at teacherreneecj@gmail.com. That's teacherreneecj@gmail.com. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you are enjoying your ESL journey. If you have any questions for me about wanting to work with Magic Years or GoGo Kid, please don't hesitate to email me. I'd love to coach you through that process and also give you my referral link. But other than that, you have a wonderful day, and I hope you are enjoying your online teaching journey and that you are successful. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. See you next time.